Right, so this is going to be my season review of season one of Flash. Now, I'm not going to go through every episode because people have already done that on different channels, and that's not really my style. I'm mainly going to be reviewing. The only reason I'm reviewing this thing as a season is because this channel didn't exist when the Flash came out. I might consider doing individual episode reviews when it comes on again for both Arrow, Flash, and the other series that's coming out. I'm not too sure about Arrow yet. I'm not sure how this last episode of Flash is going to affect Arrow in the next season. So it's kind of got me curious as to how this is going to affect Arrow and whether I'll continue to watch that show or not, considering what happened in the season finale of Arrow. But that besides, Flash all the way through has just been an amazing journey. It really has. It's been one of those shows that it's just been unbelievable, fantastic every episode. It's only had one episode really that's been weak in my opinion, and that would be the Bug-Eyed Bandit episode. I didn't really like that episode at all. It was an episode that was stuck in the middle of Flash, and it didn't really add anything to the journey of the Flash. It was just like a sore thumb sticking out in the season. It really was. I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. But apart from that, a totally flawless season. No problems as far as I could see. Isis was a is it Iris or Isis? I don't know. She was a little bit annoying in the beginning of the season, but as the season went on, her character kind of flushed out a little bit, and she became a not to the capacity that Felicity has become in the Arrow, because I actually quite liked Felicity in the beginning, but now in that show, that character kind of ruined it for me. But I don't want to talk about the Arrow. This is about the Flash. So yeah, the season finale. Wow, that's all I can say is wow. We see the Flash getting the opportunity to go back and save his mum, and anybody that didn't have an emotional response to that scene where Barry was saying goodbye to his mum because he made the choice of not saving her and changing the future. Wow, I've seen some reviews of people and they're trying to act all manly and trying to hold back the tears when they're watching this. I had tears in my eyes. My girlfriend had tears in her eyes when we were watching that, and also when Barry was talking to, is it somebody West, the guy, he's surrogate father type figure. I've totally forgotten the guy's name. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, when he was talking to him and saying, I may have lost a lot of things, but I also gained things as well. And he was talking about the fact that he gained two fathers because he already had a father, he lost a mother, and he gained another father in this in the policeman that really adopted him and took him and welcomed him to his family. I'm sorry, I'll put an annotation or something on the screen to say the guy's name with a picture. I'm sorry, mine is a complete blank about that guy's name at the minute. So yeah, the episode itself. So we see that Wells or Ichabod Thorne gives Barry the opportunity to go back and save his mother, which is what he had planned all along. He's always been that one step ahead of Barry all the way through this season. And what I liked about this episode particularly was the fact that Wells, Ichabod Thorne, thought he had Barry sussed out. He thought, yeah, he's going to go for it. He's going to do it. And when Barry came back through the wormhole and did his supersonic punch and basically just connected with the Reverse Flash and smashed his time machine, I thought that was just absolutely fucking awesome. I really did. Because for the first time, Wells slash Ichabod Thorne didn't know what was coming. He didn't see that coming whatsoever. And you can see the anger in his face when he confronts Barry. Says, you had the opportunity. You could have had the life that you always wanted. Why didn't you save her? And then Barry just comes back and just says, I already have everything that I want. And then we see the Reverse Flash, that they have a bit of a fight, Flash and Reverse Flash. And we see that Reverse Flash is about to kill the Flash. And then we hear a gunshot. At first, I've got to be honest, I thought somebody had shot the Reverse Flash while he was distracted with Barry. And then it slowly cuts to the scene where you see a bullet hole and blood of Eddie Thorne, and he's actually shot himself to stop his future ancestor from killing Barry. And I thought that was brilliant. And to be honest with you, I don't think we've seen the last of Eddie Thorne. I don't think that's the end of his story, because they leave his body, and when Ichabod Thorne disappears and is erased from history, we see Eddie Thorne's body slowly being dragged into the singularity and being taken away. So I think that his body is going to end up somewhere, and maybe in the future where they've got a greater medical knowledge, and maybe they treat him and bring him back to life. And this is where we get the Hunter Zola Man type Reverse Flash type character, maybe just a hint of that. And this also adds to the mix now, because a lot of people have been speculating about what's going to happen, if Barry did actually change the future, and he didn't do that. He chose not to, because his future self, when he was there, more or less said, no, don't do it. And he didn't do it. But Eddie Thorne has killed his ancestor, Ichabod Thorne. So he never existed. He never came back in time. He never killed Barry's mother. He never killed Professor Wells. So is the original Professor Wells going to be in season 2 now? Because that timeline has been restored. And are we also going to see Barry's dad now out of prison, because Barry's mother was never murdered by Ichabod Thorne? This is one of those series that every time you watch an episode, it just adds more questions to the mix about what's going to happen. And I like that about this series. I really do. It's brilliant. And it left on a great cliffhanger, with Barry trying to do his thing, trying to stop the singularity. And it also set up the Legends of Tomorrow series as well, because you see two of the characters look up at the singularity. You see Hawk Girl and you see Captain Cold, looking up at the singularity. So that's and you also see a flashback of the trailer to Legends of Tomorrow when Barry's traveling back in time. So it was a nice nod and a nice setup for that series also. So now I've talked about the season. Anybody I can recommend season 1 of Flash, go and watch it. You won't be disappointed. If you like superhero series, or even if you don't, it's got a little bit of everything. It's just amazing. It's just an amazing series, and I can't recommend it enough to anybody to go and watch this. So what I want to talk about now is there's been some talk about the movie universe, the DC movie universe, and the talk about the Flash movie that's I think it's 2018 that's supposed to be coming out. Now, a lot of people have said that they've already announced an actor that's going to be playing the Flash in that. And to be honest with you, I think that DC have actually missed an opportunity here, because they've already got a well-established character in Barry Allen in the TV show. And I don't think, they should be thinking really smart about this, because they're wanting to catch up with Marvel with their universe. And the easiest way to do that is to develop characters in the TV series and then slowly maybe integrate them into the movie universe. I think that would have been a smart move on the part of Warner Brothers and DC Comics to do that, because you don't have to go into a whole backstory at the beginning of your movie. You can just start off with Barry Allen being the Flash and just going straight into the movie, because I think we're all getting kind of sick of the origin stories of superheroes now, especially with Spider-Man and that type of thing. I'm really glad they're not going to do an origin story for him. And I really don't think we need an origin story for the Flash, especially when it's been established on a popular TV show as it is at the minute. And you should be, taking advantage of the fact that you've got a really successful TV show and character development, and using that in your movie universe, because it adds so much depth to your movie. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm glad that they're keeping it separate from the TV universe. But I just think it's a missed opportunity. I really do. And also with the Arrow, even though the Arrow at the minute, I'm not too pleased with the TV series, they could also integrate the Arrow as a character in the movie universe quite easily with that kind of thing. I know a lot of people have said, well, the tones are different from the movie universe and the TV universe. Not really with the Flash. You could have the Flash in there, because that has taken some darker tones too. So it wouldn't be so much of a jump to try and connect the TV universe to the movie universe, really. And also with the Arrow's been darker than Flash, so that should be the easiest one to integrate into the movie universe, especially in the Batman versus Superman universe. So yeah, I just think that's a missed opportunity. I really do. And like I said, I can't wait for season 2 of Flash. I'm really hoping that they can step it up a game and take it that bit further from season 1, because really they set themselves a really tough act to follow. The writing has been fantastic all the way through the season, with apart from one episode, and you can't fault an entire season just because of 1 week episode. You can't do that. So, so yeah, fantastic season. Can't wait for season 2. Lots of questions for the future now with the Flash. And one thing that people haven't really touched upon: will Barry Allen still have his powers in this present time? Since that it was Ichabod Thorne that had to go back in time and actually create the Flash so that he could get back home to his time. That hasn't been touched upon. I thought that was quite interesting that Barry didn't lose his powers the minute that Ichabod Thorne disappeared and was erased from history. That's another question that hasn't been answered yet. Anyway, this is Agent 117 signing off, and catch you in the next video. And please subscribe and like and comment below on this video. Much appreciated. So yeah, Agent 117 signing off.
Don't forget to subscribe and like below. Remember, the Batman is watching.